Cold wine splashed onto my face. The stinging smell of alcohol jolted my brain awake. I felt completely dazed. A girl beside me handed me a towel in a panic. I took it, still trying to process the scene. She was wearing a server uniform. She had a small, delicate face. She looked innocent, yet fragile. It was Chloe, but this was not the successful woman I knew from the future. This was Chloe at 17. I would never forget this night. In my past life, a server spilled wine on my dress. I threw a tantrum because my designer dress was ruined. Ethan stepped in to protect the server. That was the moment I first noticed Chloe. From that day on, she became my nightmare. I wiped the wine off my face with the towel. I pinched my thigh hard to check if I was dreaming. The pain was real. I had actually traveled back to my 17th year. This was my last moment as a wealthy heiress. I finally understood why I lost to Chloe in my past life. The world was a massive, cliched school romance novel. Chloe was the protagonist. She was poor, beautiful, and had a broken family. She had a drunk, abusive father and a cold stepbrother. But she was a genius who got into an elite school. She met Ethan, the arrogant, wealthy male lead. He was a top-tier heir with a fiancé, and that fiancé was me. In the book, I was the villain. My role was to harass Chloe and make Ethan hate me. I ended up bankrupt and miserable. I died alone in a cheap apartment at 22. Gas leak. It was such a pathetic end. The manager scolded the girl in front of everyone. Chloe bit her lip and trembled. "I am sorry," she sobbed. "I did not mean it." The manager snapped at her. "An apology does not fix the dress enough." A cold, deep voice cut him off. It was Ethan. He looked like a movie star in his white suit. He had an arrogant, handsome face. He stared at me with those sharp, narrow eyes. "We are all classmates," he said. "Why are you making things hard for her?" Class President Chloe looked at him with watery, grateful eyes. I almost laughed when I saw that. "Elena, you were such an idiot in your past life. I threw my life away for these two people." I stayed calm this time. I did not explode like I did before. I looked at Ethan. "This dress is a limited edition," I said. "It arrived just last night. I have worn it for less than 2 hours. Now it is soaked in wine. You need to pay for the damage." My friends started nodding in agreement. "She is right," one said. "This dress is very expensive." Chloe bit her lip and looked at me. "How much?" she asked, voice trembling. "I am offering you a classmate discount," I said. 900,000. 900,000. Chloe's eyes went wide. She thought I was scamming her. "You cannot just cheat me because I am poor," she said. The people around us started laughing. It was a cruel, mocking sound. Chloe looked at Ethan for help. Ethan opened his mouth to speak. I cut him off immediately. "Shut up," I said. "This has nothing to do with you." Ethan was stunned. We grew up together. I had always been nice to him before. This was the first time I had spoken to him like this. I felt sticky and uncomfortable in the ruined dress. I walked up to Chloe. She was small, barely over 5 feet. I stood nearly 5 to 7. I tapped her on the shoulder. "Check the website if you do not believe me," I said. I leaned in close. My jasmine perfume mixed with the scent of the spilled wine. "You have 2 days to prepare the money. I will send you my bank account on Monday." I turned my back on them and walked away. My black dress swayed as I left. I left Ethan and Chloe standing there in silence. I went to the lounge and closed the door. I could not stop smiling. I changed into a comfortable dress. I checked my bank balance on my phone. Seeing all those zeros made me feel safe. In my past life, I thought love was everything. I thought money was useless. Then my family went bankrupt. My father went to prison for his brother. My mother ended up in a mental institution. My brother sold his kidney to buy a bag for a girl. He died from an infection. I was left alone and penniless. Now I knew the value of money. I left the venue and headed home. As I drove past my old high school, I looked out the window. It was an elite school for the wealthy. The campus looked like a European castle. It was the weekend, so the school gates were empty. Under a camphor tree, a boy stood at the bus stop. He wore a backpack with one strap. He had white earphones in his ears. The sunlight cast shadows on his face. His features were sharp and cold. He looked like an isolated mountain. It was Damien, Chloe's cold, obsessive stepbrother. He was handsome, brilliant, and poor. In my past life, I bullied him because I hated Chloe. He took it all. He became the top student in the country. Later, I had a scandal where I was drugged at a party. I woke up in a hotel room with him. I was terrified. I yelled at him. I told him to never speak of it again. He just said, "Okay." I never saw him again. Then I hit rock bottom. During those years, Damien built an empire. He rose to the top while I fell into debt. "Stop the car," I said to the driver. I watched Damien through the window. He felt me watching. He looked up and locked eyes with me. He stared at the black car until it drove away. I looked away. This time, we would not cross paths. I went home to my family. My mother, Vanessa, was waiting for me. She looked tired and pale. "Mom," I said, and hugged her tight. She stiffened. She was not used to me being this affectionate. "You got bullied at school?" she asked coldly. "No," I said, fighting back tears. "I just missed you." She pushed me away, acting indifferent. "Stop crying," she said. I walked into the house, feeling a mix of emotions. I asked about my brother, Leo. "He is out acting like a dog for a girl," my mother said. I knew exactly where he was. He was chasing Amber, the school's socialite. I changed my clothes and went to find him. I headed to the high-end restaurant where he was having lunch. The VIP room was noisy. Amber was wearing a designer dress. She was the center of attention. She had a social media account and thousands of followers. Everyone was complimenting her beauty and status. She acted humble, but she loved the attention. Suddenly, the door opened. It was Leo. He had bleached hair and looked like a troublemaker. The room went silent. Amber looked annoyed. She stood up and looked at him. "I did not invite you," she said coldly. "You are being very rude." Leo paused. Everyone in the room looked at him with disdain. "I will leave," Leo said quietly. He walked out. His friends were waiting outside, looking like a group of colorful punks. Leo stood there, looking frustrated. Then, a taxi pulled up. I stepped out. I spotted my foolish brother among the group. His bleached hair was hard to miss. He looked up and saw me. He frowned, looking like a stubborn brat. His friends whispered when they saw me. "Who is she?" Leo looked annoyed. "Why are you here?" he asked. "I came to find you," I said. "I want to take you out for dinner." He stared at me, dumbfounded. I turned to his friends. "Let us go," I said. "I am paying." They were shocked but followed me inside. The restaurant was fancy. We sat down and ordered a feast. Leo's friends were shy at first, but soon, they were calling me Elena, their new big sister. I watched Leo. He was still upset about Amber. He was a fool, but he was my brother. I remembered how he died in my past life. He had so little to his name, only a backpack and a keychain I gave him when he was a child. I would not let that happen again. Suddenly, the door to the room opened. It was Amber and her friends. They saw us and stopped. Amber looked at Leo with fake disappointment. "You are harassing me again," she said. Her friends chimed in, insulting Leo. The class monitor, Brad, stepped forward. He looked down on Leo for being a bad student. He lectured Leo, telling him to be a better person. Leo's temper flared. He was about to punch him. I reached out and grabbed Leo's arm. "Stop," I said. I stepped forward and looked at Amber. "Is that your dress?" I asked. She panicked. "Yes," she said. I smiled. "That dress was sold out weeks ago," I said. "It requires a special membership to order. You cannot afford it." The room went dead silent. Amber turned pale. She was exposed. She looked like she was about to cry. I watched her carefully. She was a liar, and I was going to ruin her act. But just as I was about to drop the final blow, the door opened again. A tall, brooding figure stood there. It was Damien. He looked at me with cold, unreadable eyes. Why was he here? The tension in the room skyrocketed. What will happen next? Will Damien expose my past life secrets? Or will he help me destroy these people? Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Don't miss the next chapter of my revenge.